so much hair. Really gotta cut this and do something about my brows because those are growing out too. Okay. Hello everyone. It is exam season. Actually, I'd say it's a little early in exam season. So I figured I would share a little bit of my exam story. Today I will be telling the first half of it. This is the story of how I studied for my SAT in 2 weeks and somehow managed to score a 2310. This was back on the old scale, which was out of 2400. Now I believe it's out of 1600. Where do I start? Okay, so I'll just start with the story then. I signed up for, I was intending to take the SAT, like, when do they offer? October? November? One of those months of my junior year because I was studying for the PSAT too. Studying for the PSAT too. Okay, PSAT. Should I do a video on that too? Do they still grade it out of 240? Honestly, okay, I don't even remember what I got though. It's like 221. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, here's just like a brief summary of what I did for the PSAT. I was supposed to study for it over the summer, and then I didn't. No surprise there. So I ended up studying for the PSAT like the Wednesday before it, because I think I took the Saturday one. Yeah, my school did the Saturday one. I started studying like Wednesday or Thursday that week. Not a great idea. So I took the PSAT in my sophomore year first, just for practice, right? And I got like a 183. So that was like with no studying, which I was like not that happy with because I wanted the national merit thingo, right? So anyway, but yet I still neglected to study for it at all. Anyway, so then come junior year, it was like the Wednesday or Thursday, I don't really remember which day, before the Saturday that I was supposed to take it. I was like, oh no. So schools that offer the PSAT, they have this like handbook thing, or at least my school had it in like the guidance office or like the main office. I don't really remember, but like they just had these like pamphlets. They were like pamphlet, like guidebooks that were like, just, it wasn't like a book, it was like a, yeah, just like a pamphlet thing on like newspaper paper. And it's from like PSAT Nimsquit. So that handbook had like a practice PSAT in it. So I took that, and I think somehow I found like some other practice PSATs online somewhere. I don't really remember. Anyway, I think I took 3 PSAT practice exams that week, and my score wasn't that bad. So for New York State, our cutoff score is a 218 generally on average. Sometimes it's 217, sometimes it's 219. So I kept like scoring at like around a 218, like a borderline score on those practice exams, and I was like a little worried, but I was much more satisfied with my score than I was the year before. So I was like, whatever, let's just go into it, do it, get it over with. So I did take it, and I found out that December that I got a 221. Regardless, I decided that I was not yet ready for the actual SAT for that October or November or whatever the first day they offer it is. Actually, okay, they offer like, yeah, they offer 1 October and then 1 November, but I think the October one was before the PSAT, so I was planning on taking the November one. So yeah, I didn't take it in the fall. I ended up being all like, hey, I'll just take it in January, right? Because that was like the next day, I think. So I did end up taking it January of my junior year, and I did not study for it until the 2 weeks that I had winter break for at the end of December and beginning of January. So those 2 weeks were like my SAT boot camp weeks. I didn't do any like prep classes or anything. I just got the, what's it called? The blue book. That's what I always referred to it as. I think officially it's called like the College Board, the official College Board SAT prep guide or something like that. It's just this giant thick blue book with like a green stripe running across it or something like that. It's just like the official like College Board made this book, so therefore the practice tests would be the most similar to their actual test. Yeah, so I took one practice test every day during winter break. I took them all timed and under as real of test taking conditions that I could like remake, I guess. So if I ran out of time and I didn't finish a section, I would like not be able to finish it. I would like just count the points for whatever I finished, and then I would grade myself, and then I would go to the questions that I got wrong and check what the right answer was, and then I'd have to figure out why I got it wrong and why the right answer is the right answer. And I think the College Board Blue Book actually has a pretty comprehensive like answer key, so they usually explain things for you. Anyway, I think that this technique was hands down the most effective thing I could have done, because after a while of taking all of these tests over and over again, even though they were different tests, they all, like, the kinds of questions they ask, there's definitely like a method to this. Like, they ask very similar types of questions over and over again, and once you like take enough tests, you'll like definitely like start to see patterns on like what the right answers should be and what they're looking for or how they're trying to trick you. I don't really know how to explain it, but like once you do take enough tests, you'll totally get a sense for this. And I think that's like really what helped me the most. It wasn't just like knowing lots of vocab words, although, okay, there is a book that I used briefly the night before the SAT, and it was called, okay, yes, Direct Hits. That is the best vocab book that I found. It's like explanations for what the words mean helped me remember them a lot better than just like normal definitions. I don't know, it like gives you a bunch of little like memory tricks and stuff. Direct Hits, there's a core vocabulary book, which is the only book I used, and then there's also another edition that's like the harder vocab. But I think the new SAT like got rid of a lot of just like the rote memorization vocab questions, right? I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, so what was my point? So of course you don't have to like do it all in 2 weeks. Like if you have more time, maybe take a test every weekend, but I'm just like making this video for those of you that procrastinate like me and only have like around 2 weeks left. The blue book only has 10 tests in it, so really you only need like 10 days if you're gonna take a test a day. My winter break was a little shorter than 2 weeks, so I was back to school after that. But yeah, just take as many tests as you can, review what you get wrong, understand why it's wrong, and I think that's like sufficient. Oh, give yourself time to like retake it if you need to. You can comfortably take it 3 times without like colleges thinking anything's weird about that. So yeah, if you're a senior, you really might only have time to take it twice at most before having to submit your scores to colleges. But if you're a junior, leave yourself room to like be able to take it all 3 times if you have to. What else? Oh, and then also if you want to try taking a practice ACT exam, because SAT and ACT are like very different, I think. Definitely do that too, because if you like the ACT better, just go with that. Don't even bother with the SAT. I personally, what did I like better? I liked the ACT better. Or, I think because I studied for both of them, so I definitely think that both of them require like very different ways of thinking, and like you have to like train your mind to do that. So for the ACT, it's much more fast-paced than the SAT. I legit did not finish the reading section for the actual exam, so I missed some questions on there, but that's fine. Hope this was helpful. Just like sharing my story of what I did to study for the SAT. Know that it's definitely doable without going to expensive prep classes and spending a ton of money on Barron's and Princeton Review. Those will not help you. So yeah. Bye! Stay tuned for the ACT video. Alright.